A drone locked onto a tank, calculated the kill shot, and fired, with 0 humans in the loop. Ever wonder how AI drones went from science fiction to the actual front lines of modern war? Today, I'll explain how AI drones are changing warfare like you're 5 years old. By the end, you'll understand what these machines actually do and why every military on Earth is racing to build them. That's not a Black Mirror episode. That's Ukraine, right now, today. And if you think this is just about one war in one country, you're missing what's actually happening. This technology isn't staying on the battlefield, it's coming home. Here's the thing about AI drones and what they really are. When most people hear AI drone, they picture a fancy robot flying around like something out of a Marvel movie. That's not what this is. These drones are cheap, like really cheap. We're talking a few $100 for the basic ones. Basically a consumer quadcopter you can buy online, stripped down and packed with explosives. Ukraine's using them by the thousands, and so is Russia. They're crashing into tanks, diving into trenches, chasing soldiers through buildings. And here's the wild part, they don't need a pilot anymore. You set the target, and the drone figures out the rest. It tracks movement, adjusts for wind, and decides when to strike. You're not controlling it with a joystick in real time. The drone does the math, closes the distance, and makes the call. So what changed? Drones have been around for decades, right? The US has been flying Predators and Reapers since the early 2000s. These were big, expensive machines with a whole team of people back at a base somewhere. They'd stare at screens and pull triggers from 7,000 miles away. But those cost millions of dollars each and need runways, maintenance crews, and satellite links that can get jammed. And most importantly, they need a human in the loop to press the button. These new AI drones don't need any of that. They're small enough to fit in a backpack. They cost less than a used Honda Civic. And the AI doesn't care if you jam the signal, because once it's in the air, it's not listening to you anymore. It's hunting. Think of it like this. Old drones were like remote control cars. You steer, it moves. New AI drones are like your dog when you throw a tennis ball. You point, you say fetch, and the dog figures out how to get there, even if the ball bounces weird. Except this dog is carrying a grenade, flying at 60 miles per hour, and it doesn't get confused by decoys or scared by gunfire. It just locks on and goes. But wait, before you think this is just about making war more efficient, let me explain why the Pentagon is freaking out. Because it's not about efficiency, it's about control. Or more specifically, losing it. The US military has spent 30 years being the best in the world at expensive, high-tech warfare. Stealth bombers, aircraft carriers, billion-dollar fighter jets. That whole strategy assumes your enemies can't afford to keep up. But AI drones flip the script. Now a country with barely any defense budget can pump out 10,000 killer drones for the price of one F-35. And those drones can swarm, they can overwhelm, they can show up faster than your fancy jet can scramble. It's like showing up to a fight with a $10,000 custom katana, and the other guy brings 500 angry wasps in a jar. Ukraine proved this works. Early in the war, Russia had more tanks, more missiles, more everything. But Ukraine had engineers, hobbyists, and desperation. They started taping explosives to cheap commercial drones and flying them straight into Russian armor. Then, they added AI. Suddenly, these drones could fly themselves to a GPS coordinate, scan for targets using computer vision, and kamikaze into the nearest tank without any input. Russia couldn't jam them all. They couldn't shoot them all down. There were just too many, and they cost too little. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. These drones are learning. Not in a sci-fi they're becoming sentient way, but in a very real, they're getting better at killing way. Every mission generates data. Every hit, every miss, every evasive maneuver a target tries, it all goes back into the system. The AI gets trained on it, and the next version is smarter, faster, harder to fool. This isn't a human watching footage and taking notes. This is machine learning happening at scale, in real time, in an actual war. The drones that didn't work got blown up or crashed. The ones that did work got copied 1,000 times and sent back out. It's evolution, but compressed into weeks instead of millennia. And before you ask, yes, humans are still technically in the loop. Technically. Most militaries have rules that say a person has to authorize lethal force. But here's the reality. When a drone is flying 60 miles per hour toward a target, things happen fast. The AI says, "I've identified an enemy tank. Permission to engage." The human operator has maybe 2 seconds to say yes or no. They're staring at a grainy camera feed on a laptop screen in a foxhole under artillery fire. That's not decision-making. That's rubber stamping. The AI already did the real work: target recognition, threat assessment, approach vector. You're just there so someone can say a human was involved when the lawyers ask questions later. This matters because the same technology flying over Donetsk is already being tested by police departments, border patrol agencies, and private security companies. Facial recognition, automatic tracking, suspicious behavior detection. And here's the kicker. Once the military proves the tech works, it gets cheaper. It gets commercial. It gets everywhere. Your city's police department isn't going to buy a $20 million helicopter anymore when they can get 500 AI drones that do the same job for a fraction of the cost. And once those drones are in the air, who's deciding what counts as a threat? The AI is. Because humans can't watch 500 camera feeds at once. You'll be told a person is monitoring it, but that person is going to be staring at a dashboard with 500 red and green dots. When one turns red and the AI says, "Potential threat detected," what do you think happens? The algorithm is already making the decision. Some people say this is fine. Technology always advances, and we adapt. And sure, that's true. We adapted to guns. We adapted to tanks. We adapted to nukes. Kind of. But here's the difference. Nukes are hard to build and expensive to maintain. You need a whole country behind you to make one. AI drones? A teenager with a YouTube tutorial and a credit card can build one in a garage. Researchers have already done it. Printed circuit boards, open-source AI models, commercial drone frames, all available online, totally legal, until you strap the explosive on. And the knowledge doesn't go away. Right now, there's no international treaty on autonomous weapons. There's no Geneva Convention for AI. A bunch of countries tried to start talks at the UN, but the big players, US, Russia, China, Israel, they all said, nah, we're good. Because they know whoever gets the best killer robots first wins the next 50 years of conflicts. So instead of rules, we get an arms race. And instead of a slow, careful rollout with ethical safeguards, we get battlefield testing in real time with civilians in the blast radius. And here's the part nobody wants to say out loud. These drones don't get tired. They don't get scared. They don't hesitate. They don't go home and have nightmares about what they did. In some ways, that makes them better soldiers. In other ways, it makes them terrifying. Because the thing that has kept war from being even worse than it already is that humans, at some level, don't want to kill each other. We have to be trained to overcome that. But an AI doesn't need convincing. It doesn't have a conscience. It just has a target list. And if that list is wrong, if the data is bad, if someone hacked the system or the algorithm misidentified a school bus as a troop transport, it doesn't matter. The drone doesn't question orders. It just executes them. Literally. To recap, AI drones are cheap, mass-produced, and don't need a human pilot once they're in the air. Ukraine proved you can beat a bigger military by flooding the battlefield with thousands of them. The AI is learning from every mission and getting better at killing faster than any human could. The human in the loop is mostly a legal fiction. The algorithm's already making the call. This tech isn't staying on the battlefield. It's coming to police departments, borders, and cities near you. There's no treaty, no oversight, and no way to uninvent it. And once machines are deciding who's a threat, we're trusting the code more than the conscience. So here's the real question. When the drone locks onto a target and there's no human hand on the trigger anymore, who's responsible when it kills the wrong person? The programmer? The commander? The algorithm? Or do we just shrug and call it progress?